In the classes you said it's important that the pupils tell the other pupils what they feel and experience.
Yeah.
In what you call sharing.
Yeah.
Why is sharing so important?
First of all, that you give words to your experience, that you can't say, oh, it wasn't anything, it wasn't really anything, nothing happened. They cannot say it once you shared it. So it makes them very real for them. And that is important. That is really important. And it's also important for the people, other people listening. Very often the other people who listen to experience, they get moved by it. They get opened by it. Or they had a similar experience, and so they all of a sudden experience it as their own experience again, and then can also talk about it and get rid of whatever difficulties they had there.
These tensions people have in the body, can they influence the people's lives?
Of course they influence.
How they live their lives?
Of course they do.
How?
Because physically they hold them back in movements, and emotionally they hold them back when they, for instance, protect their heart because they had a bad experience, and then they find somebody that they love very much, but their heart is still protected and they don't even know it. So they feel they never can get really close to the person they really love until they know that they're still protecting themselves. So it is very important that they know.
You see the hips, you have muscles, you say, who stabilize your hips. And sometimes they stabilize too much, you say.
That there are all kinds of emotions, apparently, that we hold in the hips. For instance, when we feel we have to make a stand, if people have been pushed us over, pushed us aside, that we need to make a stand so people don't do that anymore. Or sometimes we have been abused either physically or have been abused, even people talking to us in a very hurtful way, and we try to not feel, we hold against it, and that usually we do with the hips. Or we have been molested in some way and did not know what to do with this, and still holding against this molestation for the rest of our lives. And there's another thing too, when we get toilet trained too early, sometimes we have tension there, because only when we are 2 years old do we have muscles that can control that we need to go to the bathroom. And when parents try to train you earlier before that, then you start holding all the time so you won't have an accident. And then when you're older, you think this is the way to live, to hold down all the time. And that, of course, ends up then with having problems with constipation and even sexual problems because of the holding down there. So that is very important to become aware and to let go of that holding. And of course then life is very different when you don't have to worry about that anymore.
The tension in your shoulders when you can't stretch out, that influences your life too. Huh?
Yes, that you very often we carry a responsibility in the shoulders, and it's very heavy to carry. But actually it's very nice to have responsibilities, to have families or to have something in the work, whatever, to have responsibilities. It is just a way when you make them heavy or when you allow themselves to enjoy, to have the responsibilities. And then when you let go, you feel physically much better and freer, and also feel life is much easier that way.
What is a muscle barrier you talk about?
Muscle barrier is nothing except the muscle tension that people have at different parts of their body against, when they have it around the heart, against opening up their feelings towards others, towards loving, towards receiving love. So that makes a barrier. Wherever the muscles hold that way, it seems to be a barrier. Or sometimes, of course, it's also holding on to something, that you won't let go of something you feel you have to do with and cannot do without, and hold on whatever it is. And that is a barrier to free movement, to reach for what you want, or do what you
want. There's no special system in the Rosen method.
That's right.
How can a practitioner choose a place in the body to work with?
Well, we have always told them to look at the body and then work where they can see the tension. Of course, we said the tension can be seen very easily because the muscle that is tense is shortened and thickened and hard. So that is very easy to find. But lately there has been another feeling about how we work. If I try to understand what I do when I work, and I look at the tension, but I don't necessarily go there. And there is a place in us which I call the inner knowing. When we put the hand somewhere, that the hand wants to go someplace. That has nothing to do with our head. It has to do something, maybe the way the hand feels where they want to go to. And the hand seems to know where it needs to go to. And if we allow the hand to go where it wants to go, we find the place that is necessary to work on. And it knows how long to stay, and then the hand all of a sudden wants to go to another place. And then we follow that and go to another place. And this is how I work. And I've always worked that way, but I've never been able to put it into words until lately, when I really became aware that this is how I work. Not what I look like, what I think I ought to do, but what my inner knowing tells me this needs to be done. So this is how I know where to go. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You work on tensed muscles. Can you work on relaxed muscles too?
I can too, but it doesn't do anything. If the muscle is relaxed anyway, I better leave it alone. I can stroke it and it might feel nice, but nothing happens. Only if I hurt them, then they tense.